Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. A quick side note, sorry if I sound a bit out of it today. I'm still a bit tired, woke up on the wrong side of the bed, so I apologize in advance if I sound a bit more dreary than usual. Anyway, there's a lot of news that we have to get into, so let's start. First up, having launched Bitcoin futures trading in May, Goldman Sachs is now pondering the launch of a cryptocurrency custody service, according to Bloomberg. In a report published on Monday, the news service cites anonymous sources, always anonymous, as saying that the investment bank is mulling the creation of a secure storage service aimed at crypto funds and to help them protect against the risk of hacking. So far, though, it seems the possibility is still being discussed and a launch date is not certain. The banking group told Bloomberg that while it is investigating various digital products, it hasn't yet made a decision on any product offering. However, the source indicates that services could eventually help Goldman Sachs open up other crypto-focused services, such as a brokerage. The news comes just a month after major cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase launched its own custody service, aiming to serve institutions prepared to deposit over $10 million worth of digital assets. Other startups in the cryptocurrency space also offer to keep your assets safe for a fee, of course, including BitGo, which revealed it was courting Wall Street firms in May. While previously Goldman Sachs has been largely skeptical about cryptos, warning investors in January that they were in a bubble, the company said in May it would start trading Bitcoin futures launched by the CBOE and CME late last year. At the time, it said it would also use its own money to trade Bitcoin futures on behalf of its clients. Goldman Sachs is all over the place. We spoke about them. It had to be 2 videos ago where I found all the other links and all the other things that they have their fingers into when it comes to the cryptocurrency space. They're definitely in the market. I think everyone is, or rather these major institutions, for some reason, no one wants to be the first one. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if they feel like they are going to be ridiculed or something like that because they're into cryptocurrencies. I don't know if it's like a weird domino effect. Everyone, we know that they're in it because they keep mentioning it. And when you mention something, it's because you're typically interested in it, into it, or you have been dealing in it for quite some time, rather. So the fact that nothing is ever really finalized is kind of weird. I'm sure you recognize it as well. We keep getting news at least maybe 3 or 4 times a week. We have some other type of institution who talks about that they're getting into the cryptocurrency space, but they're not certain. They may do it. Nothing is finalized. We're still having discussions. And it's like, you probably wouldn't have told Bloomberg or CNBC or CNN or some other news outlet that you were possibly going to deal in it if you hadn't already finalized things. Anyway, the point is, this is probably going to happen. I assume it is not going to be for the normal people among us. That's me included. These all seem, I think we're going to have a bit of a split, but I think it's kind of the same way that we have in the traditional finance world right now, in that we're going to have Goldman Sachs and all these other like major players just focused on institutional people who have $500,000 or more to invest at one given time, and everything else such as like Coinbase and all these other platforms will kind of be for a bit of normal investing. But anyway, this is the Goldman Sachs news for today. Ethereum Classic is in the news, and it's kind of not a surprise. Robinhood announced on Monday that its customers can now invest in Ethereum Classic, or ETC, just a day before Coinbase adds the option to. Not a coincidence. The company said in a blog post that the option went live today, that was yesterday, on its Robinhood crypto app, adding that those in the 19 US states with access to the service can trade Ethereum Classic at this time. Users can also trade in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Dogecoin, as well as track market data for 10 other cryptocurrencies, the post states. As mentioned, cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase is expected to launch support for ETC. I guess that would actually be today. The company announced last week that it had begun final testing for the cryptocurrency and would begin accepting transfers in Ethereum Classic on the 7th of August. However, the new option will be opened up initially to users of Coinbase Pro and Coinbase Prime, and no customers will be able to trade into Ethereum Classic immediately. I guess they're doing that because the last time people were able to trade into Bitcoin Cash immediately, they crashed their entire server. So I think they're trying to open it up to different parts of the website and then open it up to the normal Coinbase, just seeing how everything tests out, because if people crash it on Coinbase Pro and Coinbase Prime, that is going to be an issue. They said, we intend to allow 24 to 48 hours of transfers through Pro and Prime before opening the markets. In accordance with our trading rules, all ETC books will open in post only for a minimum of 10 minutes. Once sufficient liquidity is established, trading will then be enabled on Pro and Prime, the company explained. Coinbase's consumer service will add the asset only after they are listed on Coinbase Pro and Coinbase Prime. The post added, continuing, we plan to add support for Ethereum Classic on Coinbase Consumer. When sufficient liquidity is established, like I just said up here, they probably don't want another crash of their servers. We expect this to occur approximately 1 to 2 weeks after trading begins on Pro and Prime. I didn't expect 1 to 2 weeks. They're definitely trying their darndest to make sure that nothing happens to their servers again, because it was kind of not a shock. It was almost like what's the word? Embarrassing. That's it was embarrassing that they decided to add Bitcoin Cash and their servers completely fell apart. The price of Bitcoin Cash on their marketplace, I think, jumped to like several $1,000s in a couple of minutes, and then he had the entire thing when it came to manipulation. So I think they're trying to take it as slow as possible. This may also be the reason why they created Pro and Prime as like test places for other people to be able to kind of get into it. On the same exact news of Ethereum Classic, this actually has, it's moved back a bit because of where the prices are right now, but Ethereum Classic actually made it into the number 10 spot, and it pushed out a couple of other coins. So this made really big news, and the market cap was around $2 billion at the time. Because the market has slumped a tiny bit, we're at 1.9 billion, still incredibly large, and it's now at rank 11. Really interesting, because when Ethereum Classic first launched sometime, has it really been that long? It's 2016. My goodness, I thought it was like last year. Anyway, I remember it was around $1, and people said it was trash. It was never going to go anywhere. To be fair, you don't really hear a lot about Ethereum Classic, and I want to say almost ever. They're really not in the news that much, and I don't know exactly what the reason is. I know that there's definitely a team who are still working on it, but the fact is we'd hear more about Ethereum over Ethereum Classic, but apparently, don't hold me to this, after reading around for quite some bit, especially after the last couple of weeks, whenever Ethereum Classic has been in the news, it has been about that the team is still working on it, not the Ethereum team, the Ethereum Classic team. They're definitely working on it. They're trying to add new features and trying to add new upgrades and doing what Vitalik Buterin didn't want to do on the original chain, that they're now doing this themselves. Kind of the whole Bitcoin Cash thing, you didn't do it on Bitcoin, I'll do it on Bitcoin Cash, kind of the same exact thing. At the all-time high, I think it hit $43, somewhere around, if I can, more or less $45 was the all-time high for Ethereum Classic. Still kind of insane. There are a lot of people who believe that this price should be the same as Ethereum. I don't think that is ever going to happen. Don't get me wrong. I am not an oracle. I do not know. But the fact is, like I said, they're never really in the news. But you can see the last couple of days since the entire Coinbase announcement and then the Robinhood announcement, we definitely saw an uptick in price. I assume, I don't want to give out any price predictions because I don't really know where the market is going to go, because basically every other time that Coinbase has added something, the price has completely skyrocketed. Litecoin went from 4 to 300. Ethereum went from 8 to 1500. I could definitely see a future where Ethereum Classic hits around, I want to say 100, 150, maybe even 200 in like 2.5 years or something like that. If you had Ethereum and you got a lot of Ethereum Classic from the fork, I would definitely say hold on to it. I would not sell it too early, because I'm pretty sure a lot of other people have definitely dumped their Ethereum Classic thinking it will go nowhere. But the fact that it's going to be listed onto Coinbase, at least for a glorious while as one of the only few coins, I think it could see a nice price upswing, especially if we have an upcoming bull market anytime in the near future. So Japan is in the news, and this is something that I think is going to continue spreading. A group of Japanese cryptocurrency exchanges have formally submitted a detailed proposal to form a self-regulatory organization to the nation's Financial Services Agency, or the FSA. The Japanese Virtual Currency Exchange Association, or the JVCEA, which was formed by 16 exchanges in March and registered with the FSA in April, has applied to become a certified fund settlement business association. This was reported by the Asia Times on Monday. This would effectively allow the JVCEA to impose self-regulatory rules on the cryptocurrency trading market as part of an effort to create stricter industry standards. A working draft of the proposed rules in the nearly 100-page document would require cryptocurrency exchanges to regularly conduct audits, as well as prohibit certain anonymous cryptocurrencies from being traded, such as Monero or Dash. I told you that once again. I know the privacy coins are great, but we're going to have a push against them, and it's already starting to happen. When they start naming coins by name, typically we have like blankets where they're like, I don't like crypto, I don't like so-and-so, but the moment they give a name to what they don't like or the things that they may start restricting people from trading, that's where it kind of comes in. Even more recently, the JVCEA said it also wished to limit the amount of borrowing when it comes to margin trading, that is trading with borrowed money, to be at a maximum of 4 times an investor's original deposit. These are suggestions by the association's aim to prevent repeats of troubling incidents such as the CoinCheck hack, in which an estimated $533 million was taken from the exchange's digital wallets. It also follows the trends by Japan's financial services agency themselves to crack down on the cryptocurrency industry by more closely inspecting the activity of licensed cryptocurrency exchange operations, issuing business improvement orders aimed at enhancing internal auditing and user protection systems. We had something like this we have it in Japan. I think we had a proposal for it in the UK. I think we also had one in New York, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it was the entirety of the US. The US, like I've said before, is an interesting place in that it is one country, but every state within it seems to have its own laws and rules. And this is why the other thing for Robinhood, why they noted that it's only available in 19 states out of the 50 states, they have their own rules. So what I think is going to continue happening, I don't think it's going to happen at an accelerated pace. I think we would have heard a bit more about it if it was going to happen, is that more organizations and more companies and institutions, whatever you want to call them, are going to start to be formed through different countries who are trying to make sure that they have control over the cryptocurrency space as opposed to government. So what this basically means, it comes down to, I think it's a bunch of the crypto exchanges are binding together to be able to kind of go to the government at some point during the year, maybe once or twice, and tell them of the happenings without the government actually dealing into it. So it comes down to, I almost said like a street gang. It's pretty much like you govern everything that you kind of deal in. And I think this is exactly what needs to happen. I don't agree with regulations. I know they're going to happen. But I would rather have people within the cryptocurrency space regulate things themselves or ourselves to be able to say exactly what's going on. Like I have a bit more trust when it comes to the knowledge of cryptocurrencies in Andreas Antonopoulos and Vitalik Buterin over actual people who are in politics or in government who actually have no idea what they're probably talking about. So this is kind of the thing that it comes down to. I'm expecting we're going to see more countries doing this in the next couple of years. I don't think, for some reason, I think a lot of other people, I don't know if they're afraid of doing it. I don't know if their governments have already rejected the idea, but it's nice to see that this is actually happening or moving forward in a couple of other places. This is something that needs to be spoken about. This photo's absolutely amazing. I have no idea what's happening there, but this is becoming a major problem. New research published on August 6th has shed light on the infamous phenomenon of cryptocurrency-related Twitter accounts advertising fake giveaways, revealing a network of at least 15,000 scam bots. The analysis of Twitter bots, which continue to aggravate and even fool unsuspecting users, came from cybersecurity company Duo Security. The project involved a huge tranche of 88 million Twitter accounts, with researchers using machine learning techniques to train a bot classifier. Using just the latest 200 tweets from each account, the classifier unearthed a mesh of 15,000 bots at work spreading fake competitions, and impersonating some of the cryptocurrency industry's best-known figures and businesses. They said users are likely to trust a tweet, more or less depending on how many times it's been retweeted or liked. Those behind this popular botnet know this and have designed it to exploit this very tendency. On the same exact kind of note, I'm going to continue on this in a second, but I don't know if you guys have noticed in my comment section, I have to say this right now. First of all, since I started this channel, there's been at least 26 other people who have mimicked my channel with the same exact name with my photo. I don't know if you guys have gotten those in your responses to your comments. Pretty much what's happening is if you comment on this video, I've had people or bots who are commenting under it saying, they respond back to your question saying, if you have a question about something, they'll respond back and say, oh, I can definitely give you information on that. And they'll give you an email address, and it's typically something ridiculous like the modern investor can help you at gmail.com. It's always some type of really ridiculous email that they keep having to make longer and longer because I keep blocking the other ones. So along with that, the entire thing of the retweeting and people trusting things that have more likes and or retweets on them, that's also a problem in my comment section. I'm sure other crypto YouTubers as well, where pretty much I see a lot of bots. They can either have names I can't even begin to try to pronounce. Pretty much what ends up happening is, I don't know exactly how they do it, but they're very coordinated in that they will post a comment and then it'll say, man, I lost a lot of money in the market, but thankfully I got some of it back. And then they look like real comments, and an hour later, as I'm I like to read all the comments so I can respond back to you guys as well. Other bots will have started messaging below that one, and they'll have about 16 responses, and the thumbs up on it will be around like 24 thumbs up. Every single response is also a bot, but then at the very end, they give information. They all proclaim that they've made their money back through someone who helped them on Telegram, who helped them some other place, and to definitely email this person, they'll then provide an email. Don't click on any of these things. Don't email anyone. I don't care if you think they're the most trusting person in the entire world. On Twitter, on all these places, stop trusting these accounts. Some of them are so ridiculously fake. There was one a couple of now we even have this now, but this is why it says this somewhere around here of like Vitalik Buterin's name on Twitter is like Vitalik not giving away free ETH or something like that, because it's so people keep cloning his account over and over. These accounts literally say, if you send me 0.01 Ethereum, I will trade it for you and I'll give you back a full Ethereum by the end of the week. For some reason, people keep trusting these accounts, and some of these accounts have made, like they were testing the addresses that this money had been sent to, because you can't see who physically is receiving it. You can't see the person, but you can see the account that is going to. Some of these were getting like 25 Ethereum over the course of a week. That means hundreds, if not thousands of people were trusting these accounts and sending them 0.01 Ethereum. That means hundreds of times people were trusting these things, thinking that they were going to get one full Ethereum back from a robot. And all you're ending up doing is just making these people rich by sending these fake bots money. It's becoming a really bad issue where they're trying to block as many bots as possible, but they're really easy to create because they're robots. They're not actually people going out there searching through Twitter. They're actually just finding the hashtags. They're commenting on the bottom of things. They're finding out who exactly has the most followers or whatever it is in the cryptocurrency space, and then they are more or less latching onto their account. So make sure that you watch out, because this is only going to continue. I don't have the article in here. Not here, but in the video, there was something that was posted. Can't remember what it was. It was about the ICO space, and I think they've made like $400 million already off of ICOs that have completely disappeared. That means since the beginning of this year, people have made tons of money from ICOs by using Twitter bots and all this other stuff. Because if you create a Twitter bot and you create an account and you have 300 other bots that are liking and commenting on this thing and saying, oh yeah, I definitely put my money into this, I love it, the price went back up, I definitely have made tons of money. Normal humans are going to start following this as well. Pay attention. This is why I said in the other video as well, pay attention to what you have your money into. This also kind of segues into the last thing. Oh boy. Cryptocurrency price manipulation is largely conducted by organized trading groups using services such as Telegram, the Wall Street Journal claimed in a study released on the 5th of August. Unveiling the results of research into cryptocurrency markets, the Wall Street Journal suggested that coordinated pump and dump schemes have seen traders inflate and crash the prices of various cryptocurrencies this year. As a result, it says such groups are generating hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue for themselves, while others get stung by losses once the group sell off a particular asset in mass. In the first 6 months of 2018 alone, trading groups, this is even separate from the ICOs. So remember, I was talking about first you have the Twitter bots, you have the ICOs, and then you also have the Telegram groups. In the first 6 months of 2018 alone, trading groups generated revenues of $825 million US. The Wall Street Journal looked at 175 schemes trading 121 different coins, stating much more such groups exist, potentially adding millions or tens of millions of dollars in activity, adding that these operate in private chat rooms accessible only by invitation, generally overseen by an anonymous moderator. As an example of a trading group, the Wall Street Journal takes Cloak Coin, which is an altcoin that experienced several price pumps this year. A sudden growth spurt on July 1st on major exchanges such as Binance, was a result of a trading group called Big Pump Signal, the Wall Street Journal claims. The price of Cloak Coin skyrocketed on Binance shortly after Big Pump Signal sent a message on Telegram to followers telling them to buy, the researchers describe. Prices of Binance's 10 most traded Bitcoin pairs barely moved during the Cloak Coin jump. The finding add a further dimension to market manipulation theories which have surrounded cryptocurrency markets in recent months. I hate to say it, but I'm sure you all feel it deep in your bones as well. This is the reason why we have, or going to be hampered down by regulations. It's because of things like this. I mean, you can't stop human greed. It's, we're all greedy to a certain extent. None of us are not at fault here, but when you have things like this, when what ends up happening is that when people start losing money like this, they go to the government. They complain to the government and they say, I want my money back. And the government says, I can't give you your money back because I had nothing to do with this. And the people start complaining, and the more people that end up complaining, the more problems that we end up having. This is not a 2018 specific thing. This happened as well in 2017. I remember there were a lot of coins that were coming out that said they were like proof of stake, how to make money type coins, and all the other crypto channels that you don't see anymore were pumping these coins. I remember I tried watching at least 5 different channels because I was interested in the idea of a proof of stake coin making money on the side, and this is why I like the idea of the top 20, top 30 passive income coins, if you want to call them that. The point is, they all were talking about Telegram, they all were talking about Instagram groups, and they were all talking about all these other things where they were telling people to buy this at a certain time because it was definitely going to go up, and this definitely was going to go up in price. And they would then make a video where they talked about how they had made $1,100 in one day, how it was going to feed their family. They were so grateful. And when you tug at people's heartstrings, especially if you have kids and a family, people start to kind of believe you. So there's no real stopping this as well. A number of other people as well, that I'm glad this is actually in the video, have asked me before, do I run a Telegram group? No, I do not. I don't even use Telegram, nonetheless have a group in it. A lot of other people, or robots or bots, I don't even know what you can be on Telegram, have started using my name as well. That is not me. I will never ask you for money. I will never ask you to send me money to give you help. I will never help you in exchange for funds. This is why I make these videos. Simply because I want to give you guys the information. This is only going to continue happening, so please, I know it may be tempting. I have not the same friend, but I know someone else who got into pump and dump groups. And he told me the reason he got into them, and he got into crypto pyramid schemes. I'm not joking. He said, if I can be the first one in the pyramid scheme, or one of the top people, I can get the money from it. And I said, you won't know where you are in the pyramid. He said, the moment I hear about it, I'm going to put my money into it. And he's lost thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And he still has this idea in his head that as long as he is the first one scamming other people, he's definitely going to do it. Along the way, I haven't given him advice anymore, telling him not to do it, but he keeps coming to me, telling me that he's lost tons of money in all these pyramid schemes. Watch where you put your money. There's a major problem in the cryptocurrency space where other people are very, very easily able to tell you that something is going to pump, to tell you that their coin that they made is definitely going to go back up. I could name about 15 different coins that I heard about in 2017 that are either no longer moving or the coin just seemingly disappeared. Pay attention to where you put your money. This was not to have a dark end to the end of this video. It was more like there's been a lot of news about this over the last couple of days, and the fact that we have stuff, you know, more or less concrete news as to exactly what's going on. It's more of just that's why I said try to pay attention to larger cap coins. I know it may be tantalizing to the idea of jumping into a coin that could potentially, you know, for some reason people have this idea in their head that every coin that comes out that has less than 100 million circulating supply is going to go up to several $1,000s and they'll be able to get rich by hoarding them at the very beginning. Some other coin just came out. I think it has 150 million, and I think the price of the coin is less than a fourth of a penny. And I saw people online on a forum talking about everyone has to buy this, and they were like, oh my gosh, yeah, I just love this coin. I just bought 100,000 of them. I can't wait till this coin goes to $10. I'm going to be able to buy a Lambo. I'm going to be able to buy this. And I'm like, the delusions that are floating around. I still firmly believe that we're going to have a huge shakeup in the next 2 years where all the coins that we have now will definitely be downsized. Anyway, not to spend too much time on this topic. Like I said, it's not to be negative. It's just realistic. Please watch out for where you put your money. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are having a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening. It looked like the market was trying to slowly pick itself back up. I think Bitcoin was like 68.90 when I first woke up. It's at 7,000 right now, but all the other altcoins are more or less not doing too well. I think it's just the sentiment of the market. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you once again, and I will talk to you all soon. See you.